The CEO's hand was just inches from the car door when a janitor's desperate scream shattered the silence. "Don't get in the car!" In that moment, everything changed. They thought he was just a janitor, but in one split second, he proved that real heroes don't sit in corner offices. Sometimes they wear overalls. Every morning before sunrise, he pushed open the heavy glass doors. While the executives slept in penthouses, while assistants brewed their first coffees, he was already at work. A mop in one hand, a bucket in the other. His uniform smelled faintly of bleach. His shoes squeaked against marble floors. To most, he was invisible. They walked past him without a glance, tapping away on their phones, laughing over deals worth millions. But he didn't mind, because this job, this life, wasn't about him. It was about her, his little girl. The reason he worked 3 jobs, the reason he fell asleep on buses, the reason his hands were cracked and raw. Her laughter was his fuel, her smile, his paycheck. He had promised her one thing: "I'll always protect you." But destiny was about to twist that promise in a way he never imagined. It was late afternoon, the kind of day when the city air turned golden. Employees rushed into the parking lot, trading jokes, juggling briefcases. The janitor was there too, wheeling out a trash cart. It should have been just another ordinary day. But then, he noticed it. The CEO, a woman who ruled the company like a queen, walked toward her sleek black car. Her heels clicked like thunder across the pavement. But near the car, a man stood too still. Not a chauffeur, not an employee. His eyes scanned the crowd, nervous. His hand hovered too close to his jacket. The janitor's stomach dropped. His instincts screamed. And then he saw it, the faint outline of cold steel hidden under the man's coat. Without thinking, he dropped the trash cart. His voice tore through the air. "Don't get in the car!" The crowd froze. The CEO turned sharply, stunned. Security jolted into action. The suspicious man reached. Too fast, too suddenly. A weapon flashed. Before fear could paralyze him, the janitor lunged. Years of carrying heavy loads gave him strength. He tackled the stranger, grappling with desperate force. The ground shook as they fell. Shouts erupted, papers scattered. Employees screamed and ducked behind cars. The janitor's hands burned as he wrestled the weapon away. Seconds felt like hours. Finally, security pinned the man down. The weapon clattered across the pavement. The CEO, shaken but unharmed, stared at the janitor with wide eyes. For the first time, she didn't see a janitor. She saw the man who had saved her life. News traveled faster than fire. By the next morning, the whole company knew. Whispers echoed in the elevator. The janitor saved the CEO. In the cafeteria, he yelled just in time. In boardrooms, imagine if he hadn't noticed. For once, all eyes turned to the man they'd ignored. But he didn't feel like a hero. He felt nervous. What if they fired him for yelling at the CEO? What if he had crossed a line? When the call came that the CEO wanted to see him in her office, his heart sank. He stepped into her office, a palace of glass overlooking the city. He stood awkwardly, cap in hand, shoes leaving faint streaks on the carpet. The CEO rose from behind her mahogany desk. Her voice, usually sharp as steel, was softer than he'd ever heard. "You saved my life." He shifted, embarrassed. "I just did what anyone would." She shook her head. Number no one else noticed. No one else spoke. "But you did. You risked yourself. For me." And then her voice trembled. "Why?" He swallowed hard, eyes stinging. "Because I promised my daughter I'd always protect people. If I can't keep that promise, then what good am I?" The room fell silent. The CEO's eyes glistened. For the first time, she saw beyond his uniform, beyond his job. She saw his heart. The next day, the entire company gathered for an emergency announcement. Executives filled the auditorium, whispering about contracts, money, and the near tragedy. But when the CEO stepped on stage, she didn't talk about business. She talked about him. She told the story of the janitor, the single father who worked through exhaustion to care for his little girl, the man who noticed what hundreds ignored, the man whose courage saved her life. And then she did something no one expected. She announced a new scholarship fund in his daughter's name. She promoted him to head of building safety, ensuring that his courage would guide the protection of all employees. The crowd rose to their feet. For the first time, the janitor was not invisible. He was the center of the room. That night, he walked home holding his daughter's hand. She looked up at him with wide, shining eyes. "Daddy, are you a hero now?" He bent down, tears slipping free. "No, sweetheart. I've always just been your dad. That's enough for me." But deep down, he knew he had changed more than just one life. He had reminded an entire company of a truth that wealth often forgets. Heroes don't always wear suits. Sometimes they carry mops. Sometimes they live in silence until the moment courage calls them to rise. That day, the janitor proved that greatness isn't about status or power or money. It's about courage. And sometimes the loudest voice comes from the one no one ever thought to hear.